Okay, so we're going to go ahead and change the spark plugs, and you have your ignition wires here coming from the ignition coil. And so basically on the 4 valve there's 4 little nuts here that we're going to remove this plate, but if it was the 2 valve, the spark plugs just go in the top here. So we're going to go ahead and remove this plate and take these out one by one. Okay, so with these 4 little nuts removed, you can see it comes right off the studs. We're going to lift up on this plate and just move it right out of the way. And now you can see our ignition leads here that just go down onto the spark plug. So just want to jump in there and pull these out. And I like to do them one by one, so we'll go ahead and just pull this one out, and the spark plug's down in there. Now we're using a 5/8 inch socket here, and it has the rubber down in there. I don't know if you can see that, but that's for the spark plug so you don't break it and have any porcelain go anywhere. So we're going to go ahead and, with an extension, put this down in there and turn it until it goes on to the plug, and then it's just going to unbolt like unthreading a regular bolt would. And so here it is as it comes out, kind of normal looking. And anti-seize is very key on these cylinder heads, so you put a dab of it on the new one here, and then some bulb grease on the back is also nice too. Now as we put this in, I like to turn it counterclockwise and then clockwise, and that helps it seat better as you're starting to thread it, and should keep it from cross-threading. Now the torque spec on this is very light. It's like 13 to 15 foot-pounds, so you want to be really easy on that. And once again, we're taking the bulb grease and we're going to put some of it down in here too, just for a good connection, but that's optional if you feel like doing that. Then go ahead and slide your ignition wire back down over it, and we're just going to do these one by one. So I just went through and changed them all. Now this little piece here, you want to make sure it lines up nice and straight so that when you put the cover back on, it keeps all the wires where they're supposed to go, and that gasket works out how it should. So I'm going to go ahead and put the cover back on here, and it's just those 4 nuts once again that hold that down. Okay, so with those 4 nuts tightened back down, we're good on the driver's side, and now we're just going to move to the passenger side. Okay, passenger side is the same thing, however you do have to move the intake out of the way. So we're going to use an 8mm socket here to open up this clamp. Okay, we're going to unplug this just by pulling back on it, and unplug this too. Okay, so I just separated it here. Now we can just pull this off. We have access. So just like the other side, we're going to remove our 11mm nuts to remove this panel. Okay, so now it's the same as the other side. We're just going one by one and replacing each of the spark plugs. Okay, so remember on these Mustangs, it's cylinder 1, 2, 3, 4, passenger side, 5, 6, 7, 8. I like to lay them out in that order so I can kind of look at the plugs and see if they can tell you a story. And so here's comparing 2 side by side. You can see the gap on the newer ones a little bit tighter. The older ones, the gap's gotten a little bit bigger over time, not much. Still probably within spec, but anyway, that's the new and the old. So as always, thanks for watching, and let me know if you have any questions. You can go ahead and put them in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks, guys.